It is 8:47 in the evening, and the weather is getting worse. Rain is moving across the airport from the west. The arrival board is full. Aircraft are descending through cloud one after another, each separated by distance, altitude, and a voice in your headset. You are the approach controller. Flight 482 is descending toward the airport with 160 people on board. You clear it lower. The pilot reads the instruction back correctly. Then the frequency goes quiet. You call again. No answer. You call a third time, slower. Still nothing. Around you, the room keeps working. Other controllers continue issuing headings and altitudes. Nobody raises their voice. The silence from one aircraft is not yet an emergency, but it is now the most important sound on the frequency. The aircraft keeps descending exactly as instructed. That is almost comforting. Then it reaches the altitude you assigned and does not level off. The number beside its radar target continues falling. You tell the aircraft to stop descent immediately. Silence. A second passenger jet is approaching from the south at the altitude Flight 482 is now entering. Your supervisor steps closer. You try the emergency frequency. Nothing. You ask another aircraft on the same route to relay the call. Its pilot repeats your instruction into the dark. Flight 482 does not answer. Then the code beside the target changes. 7600. Radio failure. The crew will now act on the route and altitude it believes it received. You move the southern arrival away. Turn right, descend later, reduce speed. Its pilot sounds confused but complies. Another aircraft is sent into a holding pattern. A third is slowed before entering your sector. Flight 482 continues toward the airport. The storm is covering the usual approach path. The aircraft is too high for one runway and badly positioned for the other. There is no pause button for the rest of the sky. One aircraft is already descending. Another is approaching the sector boundary. A third has been airborne long enough that fuel is becoming part of every delay. Your job becomes prediction. You look at the last clearance, the filed route, the weather, and the geometry of the airport. Then you clear the airspace in front of the path the silent crew is most likely to choose. What would the crew do if they lost communication here? The airport tower is warned. Then Flight 482 turns, not toward the runway you protected, toward the other one. The turn places it near the path of a cargo aircraft climbing away from the airport. Two radar targets begin closing from different directions. They are still separated, but the margin is no longer something you can watch and hope about. You issue an immediate turn to the cargo flight. The pilot responds at once. Its radar target bends away. The distance between the two aircraft stops shrinking. You ask a departing aircraft to try the silent jet again. The pilot calls Flight 482. Nothing. Then a broken voice enters the frequency. Only two words are clear. Hear you. You sit forward. You transmit slowly using the call sign twice. Flight 482 answers, weak and distorted. The crew can receive some transmissions, but its primary radio has failed and the backup is intermittent. That does not restore normal communication. It gives you a narrow opening. You confirm the aircraft's altitude. You confirm its heading. You give one instruction at a time. No extra words, no explanation. Turn left. Maintain altitude. Expect the longer runway. The pilot reads back fragments, but enough of them are correct. The aircraft turns toward the runway. The landing gear comes down. The tower clears it to land through a relay from another aircraft. The aircraft descends through rain. On your display, the target moves toward the runway centerline, then disappears at the edge of radar coverage. For several seconds, you wait for the tower. Then the call arrives. Flight 482 is down safely. The crew calls the facility after landing. The failure was electrical. For several minutes, they could hear pieces of your transmissions but could not answer. They followed the last clearance they believed they had received, then turned toward the runway they expected. Nobody behaved irrationally. The danger came from two trained teams making reasonable decisions with different fragments of the same situation. At 9:26, your frequency is full again. The chair beside you changes controllers. You give the briefing carefully. Runway configuration, weather, delays. The aircraft that lost communication is safely on the ground. Then you remove the headset. Your hands are steady now. Only after the frequency belongs to someone else do you notice how hard your shoulders have been locked. That is what success looks like in air traffic control. Not applause, not certainty. A dangerous situation becomes an ordinary landing, and the people inside it never know how much silence was in the room.